Chris Canty is sitting in my seat, and he's far away from the microphone, and
Is that a Chris Canty thing, though? Is that a booming voice of Chris Canty thing?
maybe. Or maybe he realized it was my seat and the microphone.
Disgusting.
No.
You just didn't want it. He didn't want your microphone.
I don't know.
Should we ask Chris Canty when we see him in the hallway in a few minutes or, in a few hours or so? Why did you sit so far away from the microphone, big guy? Is it because our big guy sits there and it's gross?
Could be.
He does get a lot louder than you. He gets fired up. He starts yelling.
Who yells? It's you.
Me?
When you're doing a read and my headset isn't on,
yeah.
Holy smokes.
What?
It's a little booming.
Okay. Why do you do that, though? Is it because you have headphones on and you think you can't hear? Or
well, no, you're just trying to project it. I bet if you went downstairs right now.
It's loud?
You want to talk about yellers.
Really?
Evan Cohen.
Yells?
It is aggressive. The volume that his voice gets when he's doing radio.
One of the great mistakes that people make when they first get into television is no matter if they're in the field or they're in a studio, they think they have to talk to the camera. And the camera is oftentimes 5 feet away, 6 feet away, 10 feet away, depending. Sometimes you're on a jib camera that's hundreds of feet away and it's picking you up. And the reminder we always get from the audio ops is, no, right here on the chest.
Yeah.
Microphone's on the chest or microphone's in your hand. You just have to speak to the microphone in front of you. So Unsportsmanlike is here in Milwaukee. They are in our studio this morning. We are in what is this area?
The
gallery.
This is called the social bleachers.
Social bleachers.
Oh,
that's
right.
where we are, and we are being very social this morning. Packers taking on the Commanders, and I just have one question for Gabe Neitzel this morning as we preview the contest between these two teams. Expect it to be very exciting. Young quarterback in Jaden Daniels, of course, Jordan Love, and what the Packers did in Week 1. After watching the Commanders Week 1, Gabe Neitzel, do you still believe that Deebo Samuel is washed?
Oh, because he has one good game against one of the worst teams in the league?
Well, he did lead the team in targets and catches and I believe yards. He had the touchdown. All-purpose yards, I think, was close to 100. It feels like they're going to work him into this offense. He's not just going to be an afterthought.
Good. Throw the ball to him. He's not getting yards after the catch against this defense.
See, now he's yelling.
So if Debo's washed, Zach Ertz has to be beyond washed.
Yeah. He's old. He's just old.
Chewy, do you agree with that assessment?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Zach Ertz is living on his name at
There's
this point.
still value.
Yeah, you might be younger than Zach Ertz.
I got to that point where you start to lose your physical ability and your brain takes over. That's why some guys. That's why some guys can't play once they start to lose their ability.
So that's why you couldn't play when you lost your ability.
No, I was smart.
Since when?
Well, he said was,
Andy
so
Reid.
to be honest.
Andy Reid, and you can ask my wife, when we went up for Brett's induction, said Chewy was one of the smartest players I've ever coached.
You know what? I believe it. Honestly, I do.
When it comes to football, all things football, I will actually have your back.
Now, I'm not going to tell you what he said when it came to athletic ability.
I let your 40 time speak for itself.
Would you rather have your coach or whatever say he was a hell of an athlete or smartest player?
Smartest player.
Really?
Smartest player.
Yeah, there's
because
a lot
that means you get it.
Is it a dig either way, though?
Oh, it's just the truth.
No, there's a little backhand there. There's a little backhand compliment.
It kind of felt like it.
Have you seen this viral sensation where people walk up to athletes and say, "Do you ever wish you were more athletic?" And they go, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, have you ever wished you were more athletic?" Someone did it to Simone Biles last week.
Oh, jeez.
And she was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
I'm like, have you ever wished you were more athletic? She was like, do you have any idea what you're talking about? It obviously riles people up. People are riled up about the Packers game tonight. Very excited. We have talked about how it is a Milwaukee Gold game, so folks are going to be hopefully leaving work early to get on up there, make that trip. Who looked better in Week 1, guys? And I understand we focus on the Packers. We watch them pretty tightly. We don't necessarily watch all of the other games. But did the Packers offense, which I think surprised some people with how efficient they were, at least for most of the game, there was that lull in the second half. Did the Packers offense look better, or did the Commanders defense look better in Week 1? And Gabe, to your point, they did play the Giants, which have been mostly a futile offense.
The Giants' offensive line is absolutely horrific. So it's hard to get a true feeling and sense of what the Washington Commanders defense actually is when you're playing a team like that. Like, Russell Wilson was consistently running for his life, and really they only have one receiver in Malik Neighbors there. So, okay, you get pressure on him because their offensive line is bad. Neighbors is still going to get some. But, like, I just think the Packers' offensive line, even if both Tom and Banks don't play, now another injury, I think it's going to get really sketchy for them. I think it's just hard to get a true read on what that Commanders' defense truly is when you're playing a team. Like, the Giants very well could have the first pick in the draft next April. Like, that's how bad the Giants are. It's tough to get a read. Whereas I think we have a better idea of what the Lions are in the way the Packers defense dominated a team that has, yes, not the offensive line that they had a year ago, but all of the weapons for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, the two talented running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs, and what they have there to slow them down to the extent that they did. The Packers defense, to me, it's tough for any defense to look as good as the Packers did in week 1.
Let me ask you this, Chew. If the Packers the offense play as they did week 1, will they win the game? Or do they need to do more against, again, the Lions offense, to Gabe's point, was not the Lions offense we have been used to.
Yeah.
If the Packers offense plays the same game they play with that lull in the second half, will they win the game tonight, or do they need to be better?
They'll win, but it'll be a closer game. And I agree with Gabe from the standpoint of you have to look at the opponent. The Giants aren't a very good football team. And the Lions didn't play well. The more I watched their offensive line, they were not ready to play. And Fraley, who I think is the coach there, the Lions, like across the board. I mean, a guard who weighs 330 pounds getting bull rushed by Lucas Van Ness, that's not good. That's not good. And then we all know who's the right tackle. Help me out here. Penei Sewell might have had the worst game he's ever had in his career. So they clearly weren't ready to play. Offensively, I don't care who you're playing. When you put up 430 yards, that's a good day. That's a good day.
How did that translate to just 21 points, though? That's the weird part. Like, that should be 35. You know, you should be in the 30s with that type of yardage. That's the tough part for me to reconcile is, they racked up all those yards. How come they only scored 3 times?
And we talked about it yesterday on the show. This doesn't feel like a letdown game. There's no letdown here because I think they know that they're good. And we were saying yesterday, when you know you're that good, you will yourself to win. You walk out in pregame and, you know, when you're playing a lesser opponent, and we had a 29-game winning streak in Lambeau, we'd show up and be like, we already won in pregame. So when you're that good, you just will it. Now, I said it yesterday, they have a game on film. They're going to address Micah Parsons. They're going to chip him. They're going to hit him with a back because he literally can take over a game defensively, and they're not going to let that happen. The difference
Best of luck to you. He had 4.5. Like, it's not like they didn't know who Micah Parsons was last year. In the 2 games they played, he had 4.5 sacks.
They didn't chip him at all. They're going to chip him.
I'm saying last year. So chipping was invented this offseason?
You're talking about the Commanders.
The Commanders last year.
Yes, when Dallas played the Commanders.
And the Cowboys played last year. They had 4.5 sacks.
But
he had 4.5 sacks alone.
I know, but they're going to look, this right tackle for Detroit is an all-pro. And he got worked. So they will have an answer for that.
No. Disagree. Not going to have an answer for it. You can't have an answer for Micah Parsons. Otherwise, you would never have any sacks. Did teams have answers for Reggie White?
Gabe. Yeah, you did.
And then what did he still do?
Okay.
Then what did he still do? Got sacks.
Gabe, I played. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
I played against damn good defensive ends. Okay, we had a plan. We didn't go in.
But the plan didn't always work.
Hopefully.
That's why really good players are really good players.
Gabe, they'll have an answer.
Okay. So he's going to get shut out. He's going to be neutralized.
I'm not going to say he's going to get shut out, but that's why you bring a Micah Parsons in because it makes everyone else better.
Yeah.
And you saw that in the game.
So again, I think it's a really interesting point that you're making, Chu, because the point is that even if the numbers aren't there, even if, let's say, he does get shut out in a world where Micah Parsons gets shut out, your point is everyone else will eat.
Yeah.
And that is the benefit of having Micah Parsons out there. And I'm not sitting here saying that he's going to have a 0-sack game. I understand what Chewy is saying in that they are going to address him. They are going to give him attention. But the good news is Everyone else then will have an
And then
opportunity
the
to get to
difference
the quarterback
is,
and speed up their offense.
okay, you're not getting a receiver out right away, a tight end or a running back, but you're still dropping 7.
Yeah.
So they win at the end of the
4.
game.
Yeah.
That's what rushing with 4 does to you.
And as much as we have talked about the Packers being the youngest team in the league, and they are once again, the Commanders are the oldest team in the league. And even though this is a week 2, like recovering when you have some of the players, you talked about Ertz. Like that dude's in his mid-30s. You think he's really wanting to play on a Thursday night versus a 25, 26-year-old?
I'm just saying you go into games and you say, this guy is not going to beat us. He's not going to beat us. Now, he's still going to make plays and be disruptive, but we're going to do something a little extra to give this guy attention. That's all I'm saying they're going to do.
And I think a lot of teams do that. But I'm saying the age thing. Like the Commanders being one of the oldest teams and then having to turn around to play on a Thursday and travel, I think that's something that also
plays in the Packers' favor.
Benefits the Packers.
800-990-3776 if you want to get in with the show this morning. Although, would that be Ashton that would be handling that?
God.
Who knows? Honest to God,
actually,
I have no idea. Hey,
He
guys.
still works here?
Look at Ashton in your ears, guys. Good morning, Ashton. So if folks want to weigh in this morning on the Packers versus Commanders, I assume that is it the Madison number? How are we doing it this morning?
Yeah, they can call in 844-770-3776. They can go ahead and call the Carbless Talk and text line. They get to hear my voice, and I'm up. I'm awake. I was going to be there actually at 3:30 in Milwaukee this morning, but I didn't get to do that. So instead, I'm here, and I get to talk to you guys. So that's super exciting and obviously fun for me. So, I feel great.
I feel like he was sort of insinuating that waking up at 3:30 in the morning would have been the alternative, would have been the preferred alternative, actually.
I would have seen you guys in person.
No,
that
would
have been
lie.
better.
You knew I was going to be here, and you're like, I'm going to go to Madison.
You know what?
Right?
I'll just stay here. Somebody's got to hold it down.
Well, somebody had. The other option was obviously Chewy running the board, and it kind of sounds like what happened.
I've done it before.
Well, attempted is a way I would do it. You can also fans can also go ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison YouTube pages. Both are up and running. Go comment there. We can look on there. So I'll be monitoring some stuff.
Appreciate that, Ashton, hanging out with us this morning here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Joshy is here as well. He's across the room. He's working on our socials. And since we're speaking of socials, I want to put this on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll. If the Packers offense plays the exact same game, and I'm not talking about running the same routes or same sequences or whatnot, but basically if they play the same game, Jordan Love has a similar stat line this week as he did last week. Do you see them beating the Commanders? Because I think what we saw from week 1 is tough to gauge what this Commanders team is, because against the opponent that we saw them against. And you could also make the argument that maybe the Lions, having that step back, don't really give us an accurate depiction of who the Packers are. So again, this is why they play the games. Very excited about tonight's game at Lambeau Field. I got some stories for you guys. I got a story that I heard on the plane last night on the way back about Jaden Daniels. That I can't wait to share with you guys. We are going to talk about Micah Parsons, who this morning Dan Orlovsky said could be an MVP candidate in the league. We'll break that down. We've got Top 8 at 8. Lots of stuff to get to, including Jason Wilde, who is next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's no second chances. There's no do-overs. We're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
They're your favorite words. It is game day for the 1-0 Green Bay Packers as they play host to the Washington Commanders. Also 1-0 on Thursday Night Football tonight at Lambeau Field. After a dominating defensive performance in Week 1 for the Packers, head coach Matt LaFleur knows there's a new challenge in Week 2, a mobile quarterback. Jaden Daniels ran for almost 900 yards in his rookie season. Here's how the head coach thinks they can slow him down.
You got to be super disciplined in your approach, because if you give him an edge or give him a gap up front, he can take off.
Kickoff coming soon. Packers Commanders, 7:15 from Lambeau Field.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
It is Alabama week. Hey Badgers fans, you don't want to miss this week's Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show with Jesse Nelson and myself, Corey Sparks. We will be live from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton this week. Listen live after the final whistle to our immediate response and give your input on the Wisconsin Badgers Week 3 performance. We'll highlight players of the game, the drive of the game, and main storylines after the first quarter of the season. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Badgerland Exteriors. Residential and commercial, roofing, siding, and solar. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project today.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this year? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com.
Great to get some insight from Jason Wilde on game day. Packers hosting the Commanders tonight at Lambeau Field. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're good. We've been displaced. I don't know if you've heard, but we're in the social bleachers while we allow unsportsmanlike to stay at our house today. I guess, and tomorrow also?
Correct,
Jeez,
yes.
Man, all right. Whatever.
Wait, really?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Tomorrow also. So we're Airbnb-ing our studio, except we're not seeing any cash from it. Jason, I asked the guys this question, and I want to get your feedback on this. If the Packers offense plays the exact same game they played last week, Jordan Love puts up similar numbers, they score 27 points, do you see tonight being a victory for the home team?
Only if the defense plays as well and plays the exact same game as they did last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I don't know what to make of the Commanders yet, obviously, and we're all overreacting to everything that happens in week one. And they, beat a bad Giants team. So I don't know if, I don't know how Commanders fans are looking at them. Like, are they as excited about their team after beating a bad Russell Wilson quarterbacked Giants team as the Packers fan base is about beating a Lions team that we all know how good it was last year, but we're not quite sure how good it's going to be this year. I'm not sure. I don't have a great feel for this one going in because I think Jaden Daniels is a really good player, and I think he's got a bunch of weapons. So I think it could be a really interesting night. But again, I feel like I like their chances to come out of this 2 games in 5 days against NFC contenders 2-0.
Jason, what was your take on the Christian Watson extension?
Yeah, love it for both sides. I had a conversation with Matt LaFleur in February, and we were talking about Watson at one point. And, he just loves Watson. Mm-hmm. Like, he loves everything about him. He loves the unicorn nature of his skill set. He loves, obviously, his downfield presence, which they don't have anybody who's built like him. I mean, in the open for my segment with you guys, he is a field-tilting player. They don't have anybody like him, and their offensive dynamic is different when he's out there. I don't love the fact that there's folks that are like, oh, he's always hurt. He started 15 games last year, and he shouldn't have played in that Bears game. He had a left knee injury, and he played in it because Romeo was sick. So I think it's a really good half measure. It's good for him, so he's not trying to get back because he tries to prove himself so he can get a new contract. But let's be very clear here. NFL teams don't do anything out of the kindness of their hearts. The reason they do this is because the Packers clearly believe that he's going to be healthy for the second half of the season, or second half-ish, and productive, and then they have him at a discounted rate next year. That's why they do it. And so as much as we want to say, oh, it's great, now he doesn't have to worry about it and rush back, that's true. But if the Packers aren't doing this just to be magnanimous, they're doing it because they think now they've got a bargain for 2026. And I think they're probably right.
Jason, it seemed like anytime the Packers played an athletic quarterback last year, we got to hear the excuse of, oh, well, they just want to keep pass rush integrity, and they're kind of mush rushing, and they don't really want to get after the quarterback because they don't want him to escape the pocket. Are we going to hear that excuse again, or does Micah Parsons change that?
Oh, Micah Parsons will tell you via me that he changes that, right? I mean, he had 4.5 sacks on Daniels in their 2 games last year. I mean, as he put it, he's used to big, slow guys, and this engine don't run like that. So I don't think that. I mean, we may hear that excuse; it won't be valid, but we may hear it. But I don't think so, because they've got a guy that's obviously different.
Jason hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. Jason, there was a great write-up in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that Pete Doherty did. It was like taking questions. And somebody asked him about Josh Jacobs' workload this year and if they should be resting him more, giving Emmanuel Wilson more snaps. What say you about the distribution of those carries for Josh Jacobs et al.?
I think he's a workhorse back. I think he's obviously a really good player. As I said to him when we were talking the other day, him being voted a captain was the least surprising captaincy that I've ever heard of. Like he is that guy. I mean, he's him when it comes to that. Let's not forget that Emmanuel Wilson ran for 500 yards last year while Josh Jacobs was running for 1,300 and 15 touchdowns. So he was a good complementary piece. He got 100 carries, averaged 5 yards a carry. So I thought their workload distribution was fine. I think you finished with, 301 carries over 17 games. And Amon Green, when he set the franchise rushing record, had 355 carries in 2003. He also had 50 catches, so he had over 400 touches, which I don't think you want to get into that in only 16 games. 2003 is a long time ago, and that's too much of a workload for anyone. But maybe a little bit less. They also really like Chris Brooks, and Chewy, you know this. We've always been taught that the running back's responsibility, even more so than running the ball productively, is to make sure he's really good at protecting the quarterback, because of the lineage of quarterbacks we've had here and how important blitz pickup is. And that was something that Brooks and Josh Jacobs were perfect on last week. Like LaFleur said, it's the best he's ever seen since he's been here. And so, again, I don't know how they plan on using Marshawn Lloyd when he comes back. He obviously is different, but they clearly can't count on him until he proves that he can stay healthy for longer than 5 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes the dynamic. But I think they want to get Josh Jacobs the ball as often as they can. And if teams are going to do what the Lions did last week and say we're not letting 8 beat us, they're going to say, good, we're going to put them out there anyway, and we're going to run them a little bit, but we're going to carve you up with some throws from our quarterback and our 10 different people that are going to catch a pass.
Jason, talk to me about the 3 questionables, Hobbs, Banks, Tom.
Is that like a Top Gun reference? Talk to me, Jay. Talk to me, Goose. Maverick, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I saw it finally way later than everybody else. It really is very good.
Jen's never seen it.
Look,
it's Jen's favorite movie of all time.
She's never seen it.
I've seen it 36 times.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Oh, every time I was on a plane for that stretch, I would cue it right up, and I'd go straight to. So I haven't seen the whole movie 36 times, but I have seen the scene from the end where he flies the mission. I've seen that like at least 24 times.
You can't watch a plane movie while on a plane.
Yeah, of course you can.
You cannot.
Yeah. What is that, bad luck?
Sort of feels like you are. Sort of feels like it's virtual reality. Simulator.
Gives me the jeeks.
Can't wait till she watches Snakes on a Plane when that's.
No, I'm out.
So I don't think those linemen are playing. I'm certainly open to being wrong about that. This is where Jason is a nerd about the injury report, and it really frustrates me. Like, you know who else is questionable?
Micah
Parsons. And we spent our Tuesday discussing how many more snaps can he play than he played last week. Not are you going to play because you're questionable. No, we're discussing how many more snaps can you handle than the 30 that you got on Sunday. And ever since, and it's been like a decade now, and the fact that I'm still irritated by this tells you what an injury report nerd I am. The fact that they got rid of probable is so stupid. And their argument, the best part of that whole thing, their argument was like 90% of the players who were listed as probable ended up playing on game day. Well, no kidding. They are
that's what probable
probably going
means.
to play.
That's what that means.
So I hate that questionable can mean anything from, oh, he's playing, we just haven't decided how much he's playing, to these guys wouldn't have practiced all week, and it's a short week, so we don't think either Zach Tom or Aaron Banks is likely to play. Like, we need something else. But be that as it may, I mean, they didn't rule him out. They said they're going to give him to game time, which is really give him to 90 minutes before kickoff when they have to put in the inactive list. But the short week, like the question that I'm sure, ask afterward if Zach Tom wanders through the locker room while we're in there is, had this game been on Sunday, do you think you would have played? Because the short week maybe just didn't give him enough time to bounce back. Same with Aaron Banks has got 2 injuries, got an ankle and a groin. So they're planning on Darian Kennard at right tackle and J-Mo, Jordan Morgan at left guard, and we'll see how that goes for him tonight.
Jason, what's up with the punt return? I mean, it started with Matthew Golden, then they went to Jaden Reed. Is because Reed's seemingly limited with the foot injury, only played 18 offensive snaps. Is that a way that they want to try to manufacture more touches for him?
Yeah, that's a good question, Gabe, and I would love to have a clear answer for you. But for some reason, Rich Bisaccia was really pissed off on Tuesday. Like, have you ever had a conversation with someone and the first couple of back and forths are so contentious and you don't really know why, so you just sort of say, all right, well, good to see you, and you're done? Like, that's what that press conference was. It was like 2 minutes. And all of his answers were belligerent and curt. And I don't know if it's because, the 2 guys that are out for tonight, Bo Melton, who you guys know I love, and Brenton Cox are 2 guys that are critical special teams pieces, right? I mean, Cox is on kickoff coverage. I think he's on punt coverage too, but Bo is like their bell cow on special teams. He's their Roderick Mullen. There's a reference for you.
Good old Roderick.
Yeah, there's some stories about him, boy. Anyway, I would say this, that he's trying different things, Bisaccia is, and I would have enjoyed more information about his thought process, but I came nowhere near getting it. So I think they're
Was he
probably
trying to
looking.
Costanza you guys, where he seems annoyed, so it feels like he's more busy?
No, I think he was authentically
Okay.
pissed off about something. I mean, it was maybe.
Huh,
I mean, I don't think
got
he
a
was
lot
playing.
to do.
Yeah, exactly. Then he goes and hides under his desk. But look, I don't know why he was that way. I thought it was there wasn't enough time this week to ask around about, hey, what's the special teams coordinator so mad about? But I do think he's probably concerned that he lost 2 significant pieces, and like again, the thing about a short week, we have 1 locker room session. I didn't see Bo in there. Like, I don't know. I'm always nervous about shoulder injuries, and if he's ruled out for this week, like, is it severe? Like, did he dislocate it? Like, what did he do? Because he is an important piece, as we know, because they changed positions for him just so they could keep him to play special teams, and now he's not going to be available.
Jason, my take would be he might not think they're really hurt, and that's why he.
Oh, I don't know if I could speak to that on Brenton Cox, but Bo Melton. I mean, Bo Melton lives for this, man. Like, yeah. I would not question Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great one and enjoy the game tonight.
Thanks for letting me sit in the bleachers with you guys.
Social bleachers. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, displaced. Here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But look, you got a new audience now, right? A bunch of Madisonians are driving around Madison going, wow, I love this show.
You sure they're not saying what the hell's happening?
Madisonians? Is that really the phrase?
Yeah. We used to, when I was at no, it's Madisonians, and we used to have to do all of if you wrote for the State Journal during my first time there from 96 to 09, you were assigned a story called Know Your Madisonian, and it was about somebody in the community, and so you had to do one every year. It was a great program, and I got to write about a bunch of different people that had nothing to do with sports. And so, yes, Madisonians. I used to be a Madisonian. Now I'm whatever the heck people who live in Green Bay are called.
Jason?
It's a great question. I have no idea. Green Bay.
What about a Schwabenon? Now that's a lot of syllables.
A Schwabenonskis.
A Schwabenonian.
Schwabenonskis.
I kind of like that.
What happened to your other one? What'd you say it was? Matasites? Matasites?
Careful, I don't know how to use the dump button here.
A Schwabenonites?
Wait, what happens, Ashton? You become in charge? You forget how to run a board?
It's not the same. Leave me alone.
All right. Jason Wilde can be heard on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here. Well, wherever I don't know where you're listening this morning, so it's tough to say.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
There it is.
Covers everything.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to still get to. I said Dan Orlovsky has mentioned Micah Parsons when asked this morning on Unsportsmanlike, the displacers, if you will. He said that he believes Micah Parsons could be an MVP candidate this season. We are going to break that down as the show rolls on. Stick around. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in a couple minutes.
Jason, always brought to us by Lakeland Supply. Their business to make your business better. Set up free packaging and supply chain assessment. LakelandSupply.com.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned Kia, you can browse their extensive inventory and find this month's specials at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership on the east side of Madison today.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon League slot games. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon League slot games. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
No sleep till!
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, coming to you live from the social bleachers. It's fun. Again, does it feel like I'm bitter about this? Does it feel like I've got some feelings about the displacement this morning?
I kind of like it.
I mean, I thought you were playing it cool until you yelled about the displacement.
They big-timed us. That's what happened. They big-timed us, right? Evan, Canty, and Michelle come into town. They're hanging out in Milwaukee. They need a studio. Ooh, we know whose studio they can have. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. They don't need it. They can handle it, and we can't. Look, we're hardy people. That's how we survive here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Handling it's relative.
We are handling it. I don't know that we're handling it well, okay? I didn't put a description on it. Want to talk about Micah Parsons because I'm driving in this morning, and Dan Orlovsky was on the aforementioned Unsportsmanlike, and he had high praise for the Packers' Micah Parsons. Take a listen to this.
Oh, God, yeah. This guy's a freak. This guy's an absolute problem. You know, don't take it from me. Take it from Jordan Mailata, who, you know, going into the first game last week when the Eagles were playing the Cowboys, Mailata was like, when we were playing the Cowboys, we would always have to start our week with, okay, what are we going to do with Micah Parsons? And so he's a tremendous, tremendous game-changing player. And if the Packers are going to be a team that in many ways a lot of us expect them to be, where they're in the NFC North race and the NFC Championship race, and you know, Micah, this is a team that has a top 3, top 5 defense, and Micah pushes 15 plus sacks, and you're seeing, you know, the impact that he has. Oh God, yeah. I mean, that's the type of talent that he has, and I think, you know, everyone made a deal about last week and whatnot, and the amount of snaps, some positive, some what are we doing? You're going to see him just ramp up, and you know, if he gets to that point in a quick period of time where he's playing, 90+% of those snaps, he's going to haunt opposing quarterbacks. This is a defense that has other talented pieces around them.
Okay, a couple of housekeeping things here. The question that was posed to Dan Orlovsky at the beginning there was, could he be an MVP candidate? Dan Orlovsky talking about him playing 90+% of the snaps. Of course, he only played like 46 or something was
29
the
of the
official
65,
number this past week. So when you hear somebody saying that after one game with the Green Bay Packers, Micah Parsons could be an MVP, not a defensive player of the year, an MVP in the league, Gabe, your reaction is?
It's not possible. You can't be a defensive player and win MVP in the NFL in 2025. Like the numbers he would have to put up, Chew, like he would literally have to have 30 sacks.
Yeah.
Like not just break the sack record, but shatter the sack record. Because we've seen guys get close and nobody sniffs. And maybe, because the way they do it now, they have finalists and they have the award show and all that. Maybe he can be a finalist for that award if he's the runaway defensive player of the year. But you just cannot be a defensive player in the NFL in 2025 and actually win that award. Like it's just so hard for a non-quarterback. Like if it's that hard for somebody who's on offense, it's that much harder for someone who's on defense.
The only way he'd get it is if Goodell came down with a ruling today and said, you can no longer double team defensive ends. You just have to single block them. Because he's going to get that attention every single week, and he's going to get frustrated. Because it's frustrating when you get, you're going to get dinged by a tight end or a back, and it's going to give time for that right tackle or wherever they move him, left tackle, to settle back and get better angles at him. But what I like about him is what he said about Lucas Van Ness. He said, I'm here to make Lucas Van Ness a better player. So I didn't realize he was that unselfish, which is what you want to hear. Our D line in '96 is nowhere near as good without Reggie White.
Oh, it can't
be. It just
be.
isn't.
It can't
It's just not. And Micah's the same way.
And Santana's a really good player. Sean Jones is a really good player. Gilbert Brown's a really good player.
Sure.
But they're all better
because of
you got Reggie on the end.
What's nice is, and Hafley will figure it out because he'll be like, all right, how do I move him to get to a single block? Because there's things you can do. You can move him across the line where you just can't do it. You can't double team him. So he'll figure it out. It just takes time. He's got to get his legs underneath him, and Hafley's got to get to the point where, okay, I have him for a whole game.
I mean, the Cowboys sometimes, we saw, and we broke it down, all 22 coming out later today on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page. But we broke down with Lucas Van Ness being on the inside, bull rushing the guard, getting the half sack that he got. Micah Parsons would move to the inside on occasion. Like, that's something you can do. I don't think we're going to see the full moving Micah Parsons around until next week.
See, he's
because you got like the mini bye.
Yeah.
You can install some more things, and hopefully by week 3 against Cleveland, you start seeing some more of the versatility of Micah.
He's different than Reggie in the standpoint. He's more like a Lawrence Taylor. Because Lawrence you could put everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you hear Joe Gibbs, the old Redskins coach, talk, he's like, it would drive us nuts because Belichick, who was the defensive coordinator then, would move them all over, and it would drive Joe Gibbs nuts. It's like, we don't know how to double team him because there's places you can put him where you just can't.
So it's interesting that you mentioned Lawrence Taylor because when you look at the list of defensive players who have won NFL MVP, Lawrence Taylor is one of 2, Alan Page in 1971 being the other one. It is more likely, though, guys, that Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Hasn't had that honor yet in his career. And if you go to the sports books, depending on which sports book you subscribe to, some of them actually have Micah Parsons as the number 1. They have him as the favorite currently, alongside Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson on that list, TJ Watt is on that list. That's something that you could probably convince me to do at this time, guys.
Like he was, once the trade happened, he shot up and became
plus 600 right now, plus 600.
Yeah.
For him to win Defensive Player of the Year. I'll have Joshy, can you check out Potawatomi's odds for Defensive Player of the Year and see where Micah Parsons is on that? We assume he'll be high on that list.
I'm guessing you're not going to get the value at Potawatomi.
Yeah, you got to go to an external
Well, I'm
sportsbook
guessing being in Wisconsin, that Potawatomi maybe again, you'd still get good plus odds, but I'm guessing it's going to be closer to plus 500, plus 550.
And look, like you said, Chewy, earlier in the show, the Commanders are not going to be surprised by anything that Micah Parsons does. In fact, when Dan Quinn was asked about Micah Parsons earlier this week, he said, what would you do if you were coaching him? He says, I'd sit him. Yeah, short week, I'd sit him.
You can't be too careful.
Obviously saying that he would like for Micah Parsons to not be on the field when his team goes against Micah Parsons and the Packers tonight at Lambeau Field. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Dan Orlovsky thinks that Micah Parsons could be an MVP, and maybe he is seeing the comparison that Chewy made, which is this is the 2025 version of Lawrence Taylor. The Packers have that version. Maybe he will be able to make a big enough impact on the league, on the Packers, to at least get some consideration. We'll put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll as well. Dan Orlovsky said that Micah Parsons could be an MVP in the league this year. Do you agree? Let us know. We'll take a break here on the show. Roll on right after this on a game day.
It is time for me to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring the trust and commitment. And that's what I did when they came to my house. I didn't need any new windows. I needed a new front door, and they came through. The customized options, being able to walk me through everything that they had offered, talk me through the options. It's fantastic. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. If you order by the end of the month, get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Just visit PellaWI.com today. When you use Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, tell them that Gabe Neitzel sent you.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Wisconsin, Alabama, a massive test before Big Ten play begins. Former Badger safety Sojourn Shelton recalling his experience when Bucky faced the Tide in 2015. Shelton sharing his takeaways during the Jump Around, a Badger-dedicated show.
You know what a national championship team looked like. You know, when you see teams like, USC back then, Texas back then, those are the teams that were winning the national championship. To be able to go against a national championship team and kind of stack and see where you're at against them is always the perfect opportunity.
Catch this full interview on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Hey, Wisconsin fans, Ben Brust here. I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. A win isn't a win without the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Badgerland Exteriors. Residential and commercial, roofing, siding, and solar. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project today.
Chewy live from the social bleachers. People are like, what the heck does that mean? You know what it means. So listen to this, guys. I am flying back from Houston yesterday, and I am sitting next to a gentleman. We end up chit-chatting a little bit. He's buddies with Tress Way, who happens to be the punter for the Commanders. And he is telling me that this weekend, him and his buddies are going to Lambeau Field for the first time ever. Then they're golfing Erin Hills. And then they're going to the Brewers game this weekend. They take on the Cardinals. As you know, our friend Michelle Smallman is throwing out the first pitch. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. And I didn't know that Bryce Terang and Tress Way are brothers-in-law. So Tress Way, the punter for the Commanders, married Bryce Terang's sister. So they got this whole thing happening here in Wisconsin. But here's the story he told me that I wanted to share with you guys and get your feedback on. Tress Way, for a very long time, wore the number 5 for the Commanders. Mm-hmm. Well, who wears number 5 now?
It's Jaden Daniels.
That would be the young quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So, Chewy, you know, when players have numbers and they want somebody else's number, usually, traditionally, how does that go? What's the going rate for?
They negotiate it. I tell the story of Reggie and Yurko because Yurko wore number 92, and obviously Reggie came in, and Yurko was a hell of a player for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Reggie White coming to town, and something got confused between a new Rolex and a used Rolex. So Yurko wound up with a used one. See, if I was to do it, I'm going straight cash.
Straight cash, homie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Micah Parsons, if he wanted 11, what do you think it would have cost him with Jaden Reed?
So
wearing that currently.
From my understanding, Jaden Reed doesn't really care about 11. It's not like that important to him. And I think he would have given it up. I don't know what the price tag would have been, but I don't think Micah was interested or either party was interested in buying out the jersey inventory.
All right, but if he was, if you're Jaden Reed, where do you start the bidding? Look at the deal he just signed. I'm saying at least 300.
300,000?
Yes, he just signed what, 136 million guaranteed.
I was up over 5, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I was light.
I mean, no one's going to pay that though. You got to start at a realistic number if you actually want to. If you want the money, if the number doesn't mean anything to you, I don't think he's going to pay $300K for.
Well, we know Jaden Reed's not a good poker player, number one, because he should have threw a number out there, right? So.
Again, I think the deal breaker was because Jaden Reed is a popular Packer jersey.
Yeah.
Having to buy out the inventory, I think, would have been the sticking point.
Yeah,
there.
and it has all worked out. I think he looks really good in the number he selected, which is 1, obviously.
It's a fast number. I know you've got your fast and slow number thing. 1's a fast number. He looks fast out there.
1's a good number for him.
Yeah.
Because he looks lighter. He looks more of a linebacker than a DN.
And how do you feel about 0?
Arrogant.
Naturally.
Not a fan. What? I just think it's an arrogant number.
0? I think we have to put that on the poll. Josh, can we put that on the poll? Is 0 an arrogant number?
No, he's right. Chewy's right, by the way. I don't have the sounder, so I'll just say it.
I love you.
Yeah, he's right.
I never thought of associating 0. Like, so Dame Lillard was arrogant?
I mean, didn't work out for him, did it?
Dame. I think it's okay in basketball because one of my favorite players of all time was the Chief.
He was double
Robert
0.
Parrish.
He was double 0.
I love
that's,
it.
So is that
I would
double
argue that's double arrogance.
Is that double arrogance?
No, not in hoops. Not in hoops.
No,
but
if you add
this is
all
Chewy's number
0.
arrogance.
But you know what? I will take Golden in 0 over 22. 22 is just, ugh.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking at a list right here, guys, that has numbers of a lot of these rookies. Obviously, Matthew Golden, we're talking about him wearing the 0. Did you know Emeka Ibuka is wearing 2,
Yep.
Isaiah Bond is wearing 7, and Tet McMillan is wearing 4? A lot of these single digits for these young wide receivers, which, of course, is going to take some time to get used to. But I was going to tell you guys, I'm being told, as I'm sitting next to this gentleman on the plane yesterday, that Tress Way negotiated a hell of a deal to give up number 5 to Jaden Daniels, who will be on the field tonight for the Commanders. He got 5 years of Jaden Daniels picking up his and his buddies' golf trips around the country.
Ooh.
That's
5 years of picking up golf trips to, like, Bandon Dunes, to, like, I mean, we're talking about the big-time courses.
I'm assuming that includes the private plane.
Probably, but when it comes to punters and
I'm
kickers,
assuming, right? Like, I mean, if you're not doing it on the private plane, like, what's the point?
I don't think it's a private plane.
Oh, no.
I don't think
then he didn't negotiate well enough.
But he's covering all of the expenses for the boys' trip, and I thought that was brilliant. Okay, because you could say, give me $300,000 or whatever it is, but this is like, no, for the next 5 years, of course, that being the number that they negotiated, you're going to pay for all of my golf trips. And I don't think that was the only thing, but that was the premier thing in the deal to get the number switched.
Him and 3 guys?
I think it's more than that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with punters, because they're punters. 25 of the punters in this league, the organization would say you're giving that number up.
Yeah.
And that's why he took that was a hell of a negotiating, because a punter can't ask for $500,000 for a number.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's been there. He's been in the league for like a dozen years, though, so maybe he has a little bit more
Because if he
cachet.
does, that Daniels just goes above him and goes, hey, I was the number 2 overall pick, I'm wearing 5. And then they just take it away from the punter? Is that what you're saying?
Well, because guys' numbers have been changed during camp.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're a practice squad guy, you have no say. It's like, no, we're changing your number.
Yeah, like Emmanuel Wilson changed his number. He was 30. Now he's 23. So Chris Brooks is 30. We saw some of that within the Packers.
But sometimes it works out because guys didn't get their first pick the first time around.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, guys shift, guys move, and then they're like, oh, it's available now? Wonderful. I wanted this all along, but it just wasn't available at the time. The number game in the NFL is wild.
How did you land on 89?
They just gave it to me.
At BC? Were you 89 at BC? What was your number at BC?
No, 80. I was 87 in high school.
Okay.
But 87 that's where what our starting tight end wore.
At BC.
So they gave me 89. And I was fine with it. Didn't think it was a real big deal. And then landed with the Packers. There was no 89, so they gave that to me.
Okay.
So
you really didn't have a say.
I did not have a say. It was in my locker, and I don't think I really would have cared. You know. Unless it was.
Would you have fought Robert for 87?
No.
Because you guys were in the same draft class.
Chewy was just happy to be there. What are we talking about here?
87. And listen, this is how my mind works. 87 would have been fine because I see it the same as 89. But if you gave me an 82, you got to be a little more athletic. I'm just telling you that's how it works.
I know you're telling me. I don't understand it just because you're telling me.
Because 82s can't block. 81s can't block. 84s can't block. Your blockers are 87, 88, 89.
Yeah, but I don't look as 82 as a super
those are the
athletic
rules.
Number.
We're like,
as a what?
82 doesn't scream athleticism to me.
Yeah, to me it does.
I haven't seen too many 82s that have been like, oh, look out for 82.
Also, ever. Like,
because the 8 and the 9 is kind of like ogreish.
And
you
again,
know what I mean?
We've established that it's just the width of the numbers that really gives your brain a tough time.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Game, and Chewy. Naturally, that went off the rails. So much more to come in the second hour of the show, including Top 8 at 8. Stick around.
1.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance Team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. With a legacy of excellence and an extensive selection of quality Ford vehicles, it's the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com. Or visit them on the east side of Madison today.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Sports Center updates on 100.5 ESPN are brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison. Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit MetroKiaofMadison.com.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Now take it from a guy who has the ability to put people into emoji jail, which I use, and I will be using it this weekend because one of Angie's friends talks too much.
You know you want me to keep my big mouth shut? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm never going to talk again.
Yeah, right.
What is emoji jail?
You're only allowed to use hand signals. Thumbs up, middle finger, crying, thumbs down, or a half hour.
What do I need to talk for, huh? What, to blab to the neighbors about how George has a new femme, Jerry, friend? Or to tell everybody at the coffee shop how George is all mixed up in a perverse sexual amalgam of some girl and his best friend?
I would just tell you to go bleep
No,
yourself.
she knows because she does not like dead air. I like dead air. When I'm doing something, watching TV, sitting in a bar, people watching, I want dead air.
You're never going to be able to completely stop talking. Jerry, 94% of communication is nonverbal. Here, watch. Well, what does this mean? Well, it's Frank and Estelle's reaction to hearing about George's man love for a cheese.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he doing
It's game day here in Milwaukee and Wisconsin with the Packers hosting the Commanders tonight. Thursday night football. Of course, you can see it on your local televisions as well, but that, of course, is an Amazon Prime game. So, that's my guy. That's Herbie, and that's Al, and that whole gang calling the game tonight.
Well, so here's where being out in Madison means it's not going to be on local TV. It's not on local TV in Madison. It's only local TV in the local market, which is Green Bay and Milwaukee.
Oh.
So if you are in Madison, you have to have that Amazon Prime subscription.
Right. And, of course, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on this morning in Madison as we have been displaced from our studios with Unsportsmanlike hanging out. If you've missed any of that, well, I'm sorry. They told me to stop talking about it. I'm just kidding. No one told me to stop talking about it. But I will stop talking about how we have been displaced from our studio. What was that, Ashley? What was that?
No one's told you to, but just if you but just saying.
But maybe consider it is what Ashton is saying. Packers taking on the Commanders tonight. And I got to tell you guys, if I look at this game right now, I think the biggest concern I have, honestly, is Jordan Love pressing. I'm nervous about the quarterback, Jordan Love, feeling the pressure of going up against a guy like Jaden Daniels, who there's all this glow about, all this talk about. Young guy, taking the league by storm, helping flip the Commanders. Obviously, the change in ownership did some of that as well. But there is a concern of mine that Jordan will feel pressure to show that he's the better quarterback and might play outside of himself a little bit, and that might affect the offense's production and efficiency tonight, Gabe. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Because he's never really shown that he's going to do that before. He's gone up against really good quarterbacks. Jared Goff has been somebody who's had better statistics than him. I don't feel like he felt the need to play outside of himself. I guess I haven't seen that from Jordan when he's gone up in these big-time games that, I have to show that I'm the guy. I think the thing that Jordan's really good at is playing within himself. I don't see him stressing all that often. Now, he still makes some bad decisions from time to time.
Yeah, and so I think that's where
decisions.
we're both sort of on the same page, but maybe seeing it differently. I see some of those bad decisions as him pressing, as him feeling pressure in some of those big time games late in the season, and then him sort of not being cool, calm, and collected, and just being a little bit too much. Trying to do too much, and I keep going back to that horrible, the times that he's thrown the ball away and not thrown the ball away the way that we want him to, which is like throw it up, but like made these bad decisions. I think that comes back down to pressing for him. Chewy, am I wrong in being worried about Jordan pressing in this game?
Because Brett, back in the day, defensive coordinators would always tell their defense, hey, look, number 4 is going to give you 2 or 3 balls in a game that you can pick off, right? And Jordan did it last week. Even though there was a penalty on 1, I mean, if they're on the road, maybe they don't call it, right? And it's a pick 6. And then the throw that the linebacker just dropped right in his hands. So Dan Quinn's a good D coordinator, and he might be saying, hey, look, this guy's going to give you 2 or 3 balls to pick off in a game. That's kind of – and he doesn't do it every game. He does it now and then, but he's got to have that discipline. And it's the first game of the year. He was out during the preseason because of injury. He's just going to get better. But a game like this where you're supposed to win, on paper you're the better team, don't give them anything to keep it close. So just play a clean game. I don't think, and Jason kind of hit on it, I don't think 266 yards offensively is going to get it done. Granted, there were only 47 plays.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you break that down, the yards per play
was 5
you're
point,
in a good
5
spot.
points
Yeah,
something.
you're in a good spot there.
But life is much easier when that running game gets going. So hopefully, and it's going to be difficult if the 2 Banks and Tom don't play. That's going to have to be an adjustment by LaFleur, because your running game's not going to be as good.
I think I was reading that the Commanders' run defense is actually not as good. I think I saw that when I was looking at the sit versus start article on Yahoo Sports. Is that something that you've seen as well in previewing the game?
Well, I mean, last year that was in a way you could get after them. Again, they played well against the Giants, but again, we've been over how bad the Giants' offensive line is. So it's hard to get a read on if that's something they've actually improved this year. It's clearly something they wanted to be better at this season. But when you don't have a good run defense, what you want to do, obviously, is get up early. Try to get up early and force that team to throw, and then you can pin your ears back and do that when you have somebody like Jaden Daniels. We saw that for the Packers for years with Aaron Rodgers. The Packers never had a particularly good, consistently good run defense. But the run defense would be fine because they'd be up in enough games that you force the other team to pass. So I think that's where the Commanders go, okay, maybe that's a weakness for ours, but if our offense is good enough and efficient enough, we can survive a rough run defense.
My feeling is this. Look, we all know that they're going to be there at the end of the day. They're going to be there, okay? But a loss today, puts you up against Philly. And Philly's got a tough one Sunday night against Kansas City. Mm-hmm. So it's just keeping pace with them, because when you get to that NFC Championship game, Philly's a tough place to play, and it's such an advantage to have it here in Lambeau.
Yeah, so you're saying the home field advantage, but
yeah.
I love that you're sort of seeing them in the NFC Championship game based on what you saw week 1.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of football left. There's a ton of football, and you don't know how it's going to play out, but to me, after week 1, it looks like Detroit may struggle a little bit because of those coordinators. And losing their 3, Ragnow was obviously a big loss. And they lost a guard, too, and that was a problem. So, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of football left, but if you were to look at 2 teams in the NFC, I think it's Green Bay, Philadelphia gap.
My confidence level is high for tonight's game. I do have the Packers winning. Our social media maven Maddie asks all of us what our prediction is for the game. I do have the Packers winning by a score. I think I have them at like 27-21 or something like that. But my nervousness is primetime game, the only game on. I don't want Jordan to just get ahead of himself. I don't want him to think he has to do too much. I want him to recognize all of the talent around him, distribute the ball, not make the mistakes. I think one of the best things about week 1 was that they didn't turn the ball over. I'd like to see that. And now, is that going to happen for 17 weeks of the season? No, of course it's not.
So sick if
it would be
did,
so sick if it did. But that, of course, is not going to happen. I just want to see them protect the football in the same way this week against a high-quality opponent as they did week 1 against the Lions.
You know, it's a weird thing people maybe don't realize.
Hit me.
And this is a team that was not good last year. It's a lot harder to catch a ball at night than it is during the day. It's a lot harder. And if your concentration.
Tell me why.
Are we talking about tracking like deep balls?
Tracking the ball, just track it because the ball blends in, and I would assume people are going to wear dark in the stands because it's going to be, in the 50s. It's just harder to track with the background being dark. It's kind of like baseball where they banned, I don't know if you can do it anymore, like the crowd in center field wearing white.
That's
well,
the
now
hitting.
They have the
you've got the batter's eye. Yeah, everybody that's
but you know what I'm
out,
saying?
That's a batter's
it's
eye.
a little bit like that.
Yeah, because you want to be able
still
to track
hit it, but it's like sometimes it gets lost.
So they are encouraging fans. I don't know why they're doing it this early, but they're wearing their all whites tonight. So
why? I'm telling you.
Their winter warning, winter warning in September.
September,
but they're encouraging fans to wear white. They want to have a whiteout.
Yeah, because it's easier to track.
Yeah, but also for the other team.
Yeah, I was going to say. But another little trick is, and I hated it because I didn't like wearing black gloves because I didn't like the look of it.
Of course.
But when the other team is in a dark color, you have to wear black gloves so you can hide your holding. See, if I'm wearing a white glove against a dark shirt, it shows up much better. I just hated wearing the black.
Why?
Because I'm dainty.
But you're not. You just
I'm dainty.
Wait, so you're
I
a
thought
dainty
Jordan
ogre?
Love was dainty. I thought that's
he
who
is.
No, he's wearing 89.
See,
he's,
you guys
he's making ogre noises, so he's a dainty ogre?
The problem is this. You guys look at dainty as a negative. It's not a negative.
Well, we said it was not
It's
a
not
positive.
a positive.
Yes, it is. Like if you're dancing with your significant other and you're an ogre, you want to be dainty.
You want to be light on your feet. You don't want to be dainty. Dainty is more for like ballerinas and football players and quarterbacks
What is
specifically.
the definition of
We
dainty?
have done this on this program.
We pulled it.
Talk to Webster. It doesn't matter.
Webster the dictionary.
Yeah.
Yes, I want dainty.
Yeah.
I think you guys are wrong.
Before we move on here, Matthew Golden.
We're aware, by the way.
Matthew Golden, obviously with just the 2 receptions for 16 yards against the Lions. I assume we all think he will get more. We think he will be targeted more against the Commanders tonight, or do you think it'll stand pat?
I think he'll be targeted a little bit more. I think that's just going to continue to grow. Maybe not this game because it is a short turnaround. They didn't really practice this week. Everything's a walkthrough. Everything's just meetings because you want to get your body rested up. But I think as they continue to go more and more, I think that's going to be Matthew Golden that it merges from this group of wide receivers.
I think you'll see maybe a jet sweep where they use Savion Williams last week.
Tucker Kraft on the jet sweep?
He might get one of those because they like to have those in from a different formation every week. That's kind of a staple for them. Mm-hmm. You know what they don't run, which is weird to me? Because they don't run a lot of screens. Because you're either a good screen team or you're not a good screen team.
Is that just a Matt LaFleur philosophy?
That's a practice. The problem with screens, it's a totally timing thing.
You guys are really good at screens.
And you have to practice it a lot.
I remember that. Like whether it was Edgar, whether it was Dorsey, you guys are really good at
screens. But it takes
screens.
time. You know, it takes time, and that's why coaches are like, this is going to take up too much practice time in a week to do. But, I mean, with a back like Josh Jacobs, you get him in space, and he's legit.
Yeah, they've really under LaFleur, I would not call them a good screen team. Maybe the numbers show differently, but I'm with you there. Like, I can't recall, this was a great screenplay.
Yeah.
I just Googled, does Matt LaFleur not like screens? And it's like, there are incidents where Matt LaFleur gets angry at reporters for having their screens out. I was like, delete! That's not what I was talking about, you stupid AI.
I think that tells you that he doesn't run a lot of screens. If Matt LaFleur in screens, the first thing that
pulls
comes up
is devices. Good grief. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Top 8 at 8 coming up shortly here on the show. Stick around.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Electric bills are out of control. But with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Thinking about going electric? Now is the perfect time at Zimbrick Chevrolet. When you purchase a qualifying new EV vehicle, you could get up to $7,500 for eligible buyers from a federal clean vehicle tax credit. Don't wait, act now, because this tax credit is only available until September 30th. And once you buy your EV, Zimbrick Chevy will take care of you with their certified EV service and top off your charge. Never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
It is Alabama week. Hey Badgers fans, you don't want to miss this week's Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show with Jesse Nelson and myself, Corey Sparks. We will be live from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton this week. Listen live after the final whistle to our immediate response and give your input on the Wisconsin Badgers Week 3 performance. We'll highlight players of the game, the drive of the game, and main storylines after the first quarter of the season. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Badgerland Exteriors. Residential and commercial, roofing, siding, and solar. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project today.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork. You pine. Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Show me chicken!
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, Gabe, what do we got this morning?
All right, list of 8 things in front of me. You and Chew guess back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, then we open up the phone lines, 844-770-3776. Again, a little bit of a different number today, 844-770-3776. Whoever gets the last one correct gets an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. Packers playing Thursday night football. Simple list today. I'm just looking for the last 8 Packers Thursday night opponents. I tried to do wins, but they've only beaten 7 teams on Thursday nights.
Okay.
Well, they play the Lions on Thursday night. They play them on Thanksgiving.
The Detroit Lions, number 2 on the list.
La la lo la lay. Let's go with Dallas.
The Dallas Cowboys are not on the list.
Oh.
They have not played the Cowboys on Thursday.
You suck
in
again.
quite some time.
I
Darn
think
it. Now I have to do it all by myself.
It's all you.
Okay. Reset the list.
Detroit, number 2.
Okay.
I was trying to stall, obviously.
Wasn't much of a stall.
Jeez, okay.
Took you longer to ask the question for me to answer it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Thursday night opponents. How about the Chicago Bears?
The Packers opened the season in 2019, kicking off the NFL's 100th against the Chicago Bears in 2019.
Stay in the division.
They're number 6 on the list.
You think the Vikings are on the list? I'm not sure if the Vikings are on the list. I don't know. I just can't think of a Thursday night game. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened, obviously. How about the 49ers on the list?
Packers played the 49ers on Thursday Night Football in 2020. They're number 5 on the list.
Ugh, things are getting hairy.
Again, let's just get it ready right now. 844-770-3776.
Good stall for her.
Let's just let's just go ahead
I'm
and
not
get the number
out yet,
out
though.
there. Yeah, no, I'm helping you. I'm stalling for you by getting the number 844-770-3776 out there.
Okay,
Because
hold
it's
on.
a new number. People need to know.
Yes,
844-770-3776. Also, I don't have a lot of faith that you're going to get another one right. So
Another one? I can get another one right for sure.
844-770-3776.
How about the team that is playing tonight, the Commanders?
No.
What do you mean no?
What do you mean no?
They're playing tonight.
Yeah, they haven't played yet.
Yeah, they're not on the list?
No.
But they're going to win tonight, so.
Whoa.
Who's going to win? The Packers?
He's saying Commanders.
All I said was they. You guys can decide which team I'm picking.
Yeah, I think he's saying. So the Commanders are not on the list?
No.
Darn it.
Packers have not played the Commanders except for tonight. They'll do it tonight. So the last 8 teams the Packers have played on Thursday Night Football, 844-770-3776. Detroit is number 2, meaning there's a team from last year that these people missed. And then the Niners are 5, Bears are 6. 844-770-3776.
We got to rely on Ashton to handle the phone lines this morning, right?
Oh, we got a caller. Hang on.
Hey, run the table, please.
Yeah, and once people know, 844-770-3776.
I mean, I think my Dallas guess was better than Washington. Sorry, Jen.
At least the Packers have played on a Thursday against the Cowboys.
Ashton, you got a caller?
The caller is Dustin in Madison.
Oh, he's texting us the information?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Dustin, you're on top 8 at 8.
Yes. How about the Eagles?
The EAGLES 2019 Packers played the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. They are number 7 on the list.
Keep it going.
My next guess would be, let's go with the Saints.
Saints too far back. Packers opened up against the Saints in 2011. Way too far back to be on the top 8 in the last 8 teams the Packers have played on a Thursday. 844-770-3776 is the number to get into the show. Christian in Madison. Christian, you're up next. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, who do you have in the top 8?
I have one Cardinals. Was that the Rasul Douglas interception? Was that 2021?
That was 2021. The Cardinals, number 4 on the list.
I have another one, I think, Tennessee Titans, when A.J. Dillon has that big game with like 3 touchdowns or something on the snow.
Yeah, that wasn't a Thursday night game, but Ryan Tannehill carved up the Packers on a Thursday night in 2022.
I don't remember that
Titans are number 3 on the list.
Good call.
Yeah,
So we
those two are
have
for
6.
me.
We have the middle 6. We've got number 1, number 8, the only ones left on the list. We appreciate the call, Christian. Let's see if Scott in Madison can close it out. 844-770-3776. Scott, can you close out the top 8 at 8?
Was last year Thursday night against the Dolphins on Thanksgiving night?
The Miami Dolphins, number 1 on the list. Who's number 8 on the list?
No idea. I'll just guess the Vikings.
Vikings are incorrect. Packers did play the Vikings on Thursday back in 2014. That is too far back.
So we just got one left?
One left, number 8.
Nice.
Number 8 is the one that we are looking for, 844-770-3776. We are looking for the last 8 opponents for the Packers on a Thursday. Miami number 1, Detroit number 2, Titans 3, Cardinals 4, Niners 5, Bears, Eagles wrap up 6-7. Need one more to get that number 8 spot. 844-770-3776 is the number to reach us.
I think I got it.
No, you don't.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You want to write it down on your whiteboard?
Gabe, let me show right here.
Okay, so you're just going to, find a team or what?
No, right there, where my arrow's at.
That is incorrect.
That is. They did play him on a Thursday at some point.
Most certainly. That was a Sunday night, if that's what you're thinking of. Eric in Madison, let's see if you can close out the top 8 at 8. We just need number 8, Eric.
Didn't we open against the Seahawks for the season opener one year?
So there was a season opener against the Seahawks, which is not the game. But they did play Seattle in 2018 on a Thursday night when the Packers were all white out in Seattle. They are number 8 on the list back in 2018.
Nice.
Lost that game, unfortunately.
Well, Gabe was right that we weren't able to get any more, but he was wrong about Deebo Samuel being washed, so we'll call it a wash.
That wasn't the referee game, was it?
No, that was a Monday. That was a Monday night. That was a lot further back.
Okay.
That 2018 game was when we were introduced to Robert Tonyan. He had a huge touchdown reception in that Packers-Seahawks game.
All right, very good list.
And Deebo is still washed. He's washed.
Well, what's your definition of washed for a guy like that? 60 catches? 50? I mean, what's what?
You know what? This is a very good question.
Yes.
What do we assume that Deebo Samuel's production is going to be this year, Gabe?
So last year, he had 51 catches for 670 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he was hurt.
He played 15 games.
That's still hurt. There's 17.
He hasn't had 1,000 yards receiving since 2021.
But why do we always talk about a change in scenery helping some guys? Don't you think that at this point, again, I'm just going based on what we saw week 1. I'm not willing to say we should put him out to pasture. I'm willing to say that he could still be a contributor. And again, I know it was against the Giants. I will caveat every conversation we have this morning about the Commanders by saying they played the Giants in week 1, but the way that they used him in the offense, I don't think they think he's washed.
Yeah, which is why they traded for him, and they're wrong.
All right, let me ask
People
you a
are
question.
wrong all the time about their player
But
evaluation.
then they don't lead the team in production in week 1.
So Jordy Nelson is last year in the league, was with the Raiders, had one huge game. He was almost 200 yards. Did absolutely nothing the rest of the season. Absolutely nothing. Jordy had nothing really left to give. Raiders thought maybe he did, and obviously he didn't. Deebo Samuel is a guy who had one really good season and has been average at best since that season.
All right, is there a receiver on this team, Green Bay, that you would take Deebo over?
Yeah, I'd take Golden over him. I'd take Romeo over him. I'd take Jaden Reed over him.
Wicks? So you think he's a 4?
On the Packers, yeah. He had 7 catches for 77 yards. It's okay.
But all-purpose, I think he was, 96?
Yeah, because he had the end around for 19.
Wow, you're stubborn, huh?
Wait, so a guy has one good game? The numbers previously tell me this dude is washed.
All I'm trying to say is
he had more yards than any of the Packer receivers last week.
So? One of them played a good team. The other played a team full of, again, in the blue you're wearing today, you could have lined up for the Giants defense and nobody would have told the difference.
You know what I'm really interested in? I'll be in Germany next week.
Yeah.
I want to measure his stubbornness against the people there. I really do.
I am German.
I know that.
That's what he's saying.
I just want to gauge your stubbornness to people in the homeland.
Yeah. I think you're going to find a lot of people like me.
I don't think so.
Driving you nuts.
No, they're just called Germans, right? Like Germanites or Germanonians or whatever he was saying about the
Germania.
Madisonians. Germanians. Jen Gabechewy rolls on after this. Stick around. And do not miss a farm-to-table dining experience unlike any other at Potawatomi Casino, Milwaukee. Gather and Grow is a limited-time showcase of foods from independent farms and producers across Wisconsin. Let's gather to celebrate the bounty of the state that we call home at Potawatomi Casino, Milwaukee. Tickets are available at Potawatomi.com. That's POTAWATOMI.com.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's no second chances. There's no do-overs. We're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
They're your favorite words. It is game day for the 1-0 Green Bay Packers as they play host to the Washington Commanders. Also 1-0 on Thursday Night Football tonight at Lambeau Field. After a dominating defensive performance in Week 1 for the Packers, head coach Matt LaFleur knows there's a new challenge in Week 2, a mobile quarterback. Jaden Daniels ran for almost 900 yards in his rookie season. Here's how the head coach thinks they can slow him down.
You got to be super disciplined in your approach, because if you give him an edge or give him a gap up front, he can take off.
Kickoff coming soon. Packers Commanders, 7:15 from Lambeau Field.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Looking for the perfect pizza meal just for you? Introducing Pizza Hut's new personal pizzas, the Crafted Flats. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each, all day. The perfect pizza deal for lunch, dinner, or on game days. Order your $5 Crafted Flats at one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Former basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal is DJ Diesel, and he's coming to the Sylvie on Friday, September 19th. Catch Shaq and his Base All-Stars live. Tickets on sale now at Sylvie.com. Don't miss your chance to see Shaq, DJ Diesel live in Madison on September 19th.
It is Alabama week. Hey Badgers fans, you don't want to miss this week's Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show with Jesse Nelson and myself, Corey Sparks. We will be live from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton this week. Listen live after the final whistle to our immediate response and give your input on the Wisconsin Badgers Week 3 performance. We'll highlight players of the game, the drive of the game, and main storylines after the first quarter of the season. It's ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Thursday, we'll preview the Commanders-Packers Week 2 kickoff, plus actor Kyle MacLachlan joins us in studio. That's on Thursday's edition of The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Coming out, he's 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 coming out. It's that.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, but also coming to you from Madison today. So welcome, Madisonians. That's correct, right?
Yes.
Madisonians, Madisonites, yeah, it's just Madisonians. We were just talking to Greg Scalzo as he walked through here, and he's like, what are you guys doing out here? I said, well, we were kicked out of our studio. He said, why? I said, well, Unsportsmanlike is here. He said, well, that's not cool. I said, I know. That's what I've been saying all morning long. We're supposed to be like gracious hosts or something.
Well, just think of the grandparents coming to town, and you get kicked out of your bedroom, and we're sleeping in the backyard in a tent. As a kid, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but we're not kids. Like I mean, that's supposed to be our studio. We're supposed to be the adults. Your mom and dad didn't displace.
Yeah, and sleeping outside sucks. Let's be honest.
That's a great point by you. That's a great point. We're not the kids.
Let me tell you what.
Or are we the kids? Do they think we're the kids?
Let me tell you
Yes.
what.
The kids.
When I go visit my in-laws in Florida, they give up their bed because their other beds are so small, and they give it up to me.
Because you're a big person.
But I didn't know my father-in-law was going to leave a spider in the bed that attacked my forehead, so I'm kind of taking it with a grain of salt.
Wait, am I allowed to do that, Chewy? Am I allowed to ask to sleep in a bigger bed at my in-laws?
You can hint at it.
I mean, the hint is I'm
hints.
huge. I don't know what other hint I need.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You're saying just by walking in the room,
I
the
feel
message
like
should be sent?
I mean, you can feel it. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I got attacked by a snake yesterday that scared the ever-living.
What do you mean you got attacked by a snake?
Florida's not far down the road. I have to get rid of trim the bushes, cut the ornamental grass down. So I'm cutting the grass down with my hedge thing, and out of the corner of my eye, I had gloves on. Snake is biting my glove and stuff, and it scared the you-know-what's out of me. So, ha-cha! It got the old trimmer.
Oh, my gosh. You used the trimmer?
I had to.
It was a life-or-death situation.
I don't know about that.
What would have happened if that was you?
Well, I would have screamed for sure. I hate snakes.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that, like, me and Indiana Jones were like this on that, okay? But I would have screamed. I probably would have run. Okay. But I would have returned with an axe and done what you did with the. But you're telling me you use, like, the weed whacker thing?
No, hedge trimmers.
Hedge trimmers. No, I had electric ones, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's worse? What a mess. Didn't you just create a mess?
No, it was a clean cut. It was a clean cut. Mouse or a snake?
Oh, I can handle mice all day.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me at all. But snakes, horrible. We are obviously talking about the Packers-Commanders game this evening. We have talked about Jordan Love. We have talked about Micah Parsons. If you missed any of those conversations, of course, you can find them on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. We've talked a little bit about Matthew Golden and how we think he will be in there. But I do want to talk about the offensive line. Because, Gabe, it feels like to me, as you continue to break down the matchups for this evening's game, that's the one where it sounds like you have the most concern just because of the health.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, that was what we talked about going into the season. Like, one of the biggest questions I think we all had was how deep is this offensive line? And have two guys get hurt, both be questionable, and for Jason to tell us, I don't think they're going to be playing in this game. Yeah, they held up fine in the handful of snaps with the reconfigured line because initially Jordan Morgan went in to play right tackle when Zach Tom got hurt, but then had to shift down into the left tackle, or excuse me, the left guard spot when Aaron Banks went down with an ankle injury, and now that depth is really being tested. So Darian Kennard ended up coming in. He was the one that they acquired who has played for the Eagles and Chiefs previously, was okay in his 15 snaps, but I don't know how he holds up over the course of an entire game. Like, this is a very largely untested part of the Packers is that offensive line depth. And now if you have another injury, like, I literally don't know who would come in. Like, if it's a tackle, I guess it's Anthony Belton, which I don't feel great about.
Yeah.
So it's just not a very good spot for the Packers to be in, to have two guys go down when you only trust 6 to begin with.
Look, the only way they win, the only way the Redskins win is if Jaden Daniels torches them with his feet. I'm not worried about his arm, you know.
So you're not worried about the offensive line?
I think this defense is good enough, and we talked about it yesterday, like, Micah Parsons will take that inside route. You can do that against Jared Goff because Jared Goff's not mobile. You do that and you don't get the Daniels, he's out the door and running. Whoop. So I'm saying if you let him run for 80 to 100 yards, no, I'm not going to feel great.
But you're fine with the injuries on the Packers' offensive line.
I'm fine. I mean, LaFleur's, he's especially early in the year, he game plans really well. And he schemes guys open because it's fresh. There's not a lot of film on this year's team. I feel confident offensively. Like, if they score – like, I picked them 31-21. I feel better about this game. Maybe not as good if the two offensive linemen don't play. But as a whole, I feel better about this game than I did about Detroit. I feel more confident.
Only concern that I have is obviously Washington's defensive tackles are excellent at collapsing the pocket. So as you mentioned, as they sit there and try to figure out who are going to be your horses in the game tonight, is something that we should absolutely keep an eye on.
But if they're collapsing the pocket, do we see Jordan Love be a little bit more mobile? Not that he's going to be Jaden Daniels and have that threat to run for the 80 to 100 that Shuey mentioned. But I think everybody thought last week, okay, because I think one of the favorite bets across ESPN, whether it was Josh Wednesday nights at Pado, whether it was the parlay that the KBN boys put together, everybody thought that Jordan Love was going to show off the legs a little bit, and he didn't. He didn't have to.
I know why.
He was so clean in the pocket.
But did you see the one run? What the hell was that? It's like he forgot left, right. Like he went left, right, left.
The turf monster got him.
Yeah. They got to watch out for those lines.
Yeah. Sometimes they just reach up and grab an ankle, Chew.
Yeah,
that wasn't pretty. But I think if those tackles are collapsing, Jen, I'm curious to see if he tries to get outside the pocket and maybe extend plays that way.
And look, we have talked about that from a Jordan Love standpoint as he continues to evolve his game. What are some of the ways that Jordan Love can take that next step, can elevate to the top tier of quarterbacks in the league? And we have said it is to match those types of efforts like you've seen from Jaden Daniels, like you have seen from Jalen Hurts, like you see occasionally from my brain just stopped. Josh Allen, good grief.
Okay, all right.
Josh Allen
there's
Buffalo.
a number of different ways you could have gone there.
Yeah, but that was the one I was looking for. Man, that brain, when it just stops, it stops. So if he doesn't do it tonight, is it still something you expect him to work into his repertoire as the season goes on? Or to your point, if the pocket keeps him as clean as they did in week 1, does he not have to do that?
No, it doesn't have to if the pocket's clean. Again, I just go back to what he did in 23. He rushed for almost 250 yards in 23. That's what I expect. Just every once in a while, if there's a back door to escape out of, go ahead and do it. I know we just had fun with the athleticism of him, of running with two left feet on the one run. We know he's more athletic than that. Again, he's not Daniels, Hurts, Allen, Lamar. He's not any of those guys, but he can be like a Mahomes, where he is able to extend plays and use his legs that way. But again, if the offensive line keeps you clean, it's something you don't have to worry about.
One other thing I'd like to see, and I might be a little biased, but I'd like to see Tucker Kraft just a little more involved. I'd like to see him start developing that go-to route.
Is tonight the night for that, though? Because if the guys don't start, the two offensive linemen, you're going to have Darian Kennard, who is relatively inexperienced at right tackle. Are you going to need Musgrave and Kraft to stick around and maybe help out there, throw that chip before they get out?
Not at the beginning of the game. They'll have that in their back pocket if they need it and go to it. But just like, one of my staples was just a 3-step drop, 322 Y stick, where it's just a 5-yard and peel it out. Just like a nice, comfortable 8-yard gain to get things going and get it moving. Everything doesn't have to be home runs with him.
Let me ask you this, Chu. When you watch the league these days and you watch Packers games, do they still do that, though? It feels like with all the tape that's out there, with all the knowledge, not that it wasn't in 96 and the years that you were playing, but it feels like if a guy has a go-to route, that becomes so much easier to defend.
Formationally, you can get it done because there's only with fronts and formations, you can only play certain coverages, so you can dictate what they want. Back in the day, we used to flip. Like if we wanted the formation or the defense we wanted, they'd start me on the left, and then I would on the snap, not on his cadence, flip to the right. And they can only do so many coverages out of that. Where you're like, okay, you're one-on-one against the Mike linebacker, middle linebacker, and if everyone peels everyone out the way it's supposed to be, it's bread and butter. It's just bread and butter. I want to see bread and butter. I love bread and butter. Like, I have bread and butter with spaghetti, you know?
Yeah, sure.
It's just, I want to see a route. Fox to XY hook was another one. It's more like an option route in a field between Jordan Love and Kraft because they've been together for 3 years now. They should start being able to develop that. They should be able to start to read one another's mind on what I'm doing and where I'm going.
How much did you hate from going to the left side of the line over to the right side of the line?
I hated it. Every time I heard flip two.
Even if the ball was going to be coming to you?
I mean, that's a little better, you know. But anytime you motion for tight ends, because ogres don't like to move around a lot, you know. wasn't a big fan.
Dainty ogre.
But
like
at
yourself.
the end of the day, it's better for you because now you know what you're up against. So
as we continue to look for advantages that the Packers have tonight against the Commanders, guys, there is a note off of week 1 for Jaden Daniels and company. He obviously was incredibly efficient against the Giants, but his efficiency dropped when the Giants shifted from man coverage to zone coverage, and we know that Jeff Hafley loves zone coverage. That is what he primarily runs with his team. That could force Daniels into less efficient throws. That is an area where you could say, okay, that matchup might go towards the Packers and the way that they play defense and how the zone seemed to stymie him at least a little bit in week 1. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wrap up the show as we continue previewing the Packers versus the Commanders tonight in Thursday Night Football at Lambeau Field. Stick around.
Connie's Frozen Pizza, the cornmeal dusted crust, all natural ingredients. What's not to love? BOGO sale going on right now. Pick and save in Metro Market stores. You can enjoy pizzeria quality without the pizzeria prices. It had been a minute since I had a Connie's Frozen Pizza. Had one a week or two ago. Oh, it was fantastic. And with the BOGO, pizza, football, what are you waiting for? Get to your local Pick and Save in Metro Market stores to get buy one, get one right now on Connie's Frozen Pizza.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Madison money guy, Christian Finfrock, and his team at Retirement Income Strategies. Hear his show every Saturday and Sunday beginning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN. A prime matchup. Wisconsin-Alabama, a massive test before Big Ten play begins. Former Badger safety Sojourn Shelton recalling his experience when Bucky faced the Tide in 2015. Shelton sharing his takeaways during the jump around, a Badger-dedicated show.
You know what a national championship team looked like. You know, when you see teams like, USC back then, Texas back then, those are the teams that were winning the national championship. To be able to go against a national championship team and kind of stack and see where you're at against them is always the perfect opportunity.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Badgerland Exteriors. Residential and commercial, roofing, siding, and solar. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project today.
As we get you set for the Packers-Commanders game tonight at Lambeau Field, it's a busy day here at the 3rd Street Market Hall in our Good Karma Brands offices. We obviously have Unsportsmanlike downstairs doing their show. They're going to come up here. We got a bunch of partners. You can feel the energy in here, not unlike you will feel tonight up in Titletown, up at Lambeau Field. I do have some props that I want to throw by you guys as we wrap up the show this evening.
Debo Samuel under.
I was saving that for the last one.
Well,
We had to go ahead and
I don't care what the
there.
number is. Just take the under.
Actually, I would take the over tonight, but that's a whole nother story. Who do you trust more to make big plays tonight, Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels? When we think about big plays, we can narrow it down to explosive plays. Let's talk about just the standard explosive plays. Who is going to have more tonight?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. The entire offense for Washington runs through Jaden Daniels. They've got a rookie at running back. They rely on his legs. They rely on his arm. Like, everything goes through him. Whereas for the Packers, they split it up, not just in the wide receivers, but the offensive responsibility doesn't fall all on Jordan Love. A big chunk of it does, but a big responsibility also goes to Josh Jacobs.
Like I said, Jordan doesn't need, he needs to make plays, but not splash plays. The only way Washington wins is if Daniels makes splash plays. So I agree with Gabe.
Micah Parsons fully healthy. How many sacks do you think he gets this evening? Give me a number.
I'll take one.
I'll take one as well.
I'll take one.
Yeah.
Great.
One seems like a good number.
I mean, you think, Chewy, you said it earlier in the show, you think they're going to be double teaming
Yeah.
him. You think he's going to, but again, the hope is that opens up opportunity for some of the other guys on the defensive line and maybe even, further back in the defense.
I think he'll have one, but the other team will have, the rest of the team will have 2 to 3.
Yeah,
Probably more 3.
Daniels was sacked 3 times last week. Granted,
Yeah.
the one good thing that the Giants have 2 good things. Malik Neighbors and then their defensive line. They put in a lot into that defensive line. It's the best thing they have going defensively. But having Micah Parsons can kind of elevate everybody else. Like
Young
Chewy said.
quarterbacks have a tendency to hold on to the ball too long. That's
Well, especially somebody like that who
Yeah,
knows they can
sure.
make plays
Yeah.
if they hold on to it.
Yep.
So you mentioned somebody else getting a sack. Rashawn Gary gets a sack. Yes or no in this game?
I'll say yes. I'll say he gets one.
I'll say no. I think him and
They split a
LVN.
sack. What do you have, 1.5 last
So
week?
he had 1.5 last week. I'll say he gets a half this week. He'll split one with somebody else.
Jaden Daniels over 43.5 rushing yards.
Over.
Ugh, that feels low,
Over.
doesn't it?
I think anything under 60 is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think anything under 60 is okay.
And to be honest with you, he could just rip off one
Yeah.
run.
Mhm.
Get outside the pocket and rip off one run, and he could go up over 43 with a couple of other short ones. First turnover of the evening, Packers or Commanders?
Commies.
I think it'll be a pretty clean game. I don't think there'll be
Remember,
a lot
Packers
of it.
had
Maybe
0 turnovers
one.
in week 1.
I mean, I'll ride the wave, Halfley wave, where that's important to him. So I'll say, yeah, Commies turn it over one time.
I'm looking it up right now. Does anybody know how many turnovers the Commanders had in week 1?
0. Also
Zero
did
as
not
well.
turn it. There were no turnovers in the
In the
game.
game, yeah, and the Giants didn't have any either. All right, I didn't realize this, guys, and tell me how this makes you feel. Washington has lost 6 straight at Lambeau Field. How will that affect the outcome of tonight's game? Will there be some desperation as far as like that streak, or is it just not something they think about?
I don't think Dan Quinn hasn't.
Nope.
Lost one with Washington. That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't
That's one of
matter
those
at all.
stats that's fun to throw out there,
Yeah.
but ultimately, like, it's not like Jaden Daniels is 0 for 6 at Lambeau. Like you said, it's not like Dan Quinn's 0 for 6 at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Those losses
Now,
happened well before the current regime.
Last week, I think it did factor in with the Detroit winning 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
at
they won
Lambeau.
3 in a row at Lambeau.
Yeah, I think they were cognizant.
But again,
of that.
that was Dan Campbell who had the hand in that.
Sure.
So there, I
Yes,
think that
then it
number
matters.
means a little
Correct.
bit more when it's been
Yep.
that regime that's been dominating.
Last one I have for you today, Josh Jacobs, under 78.5 rushing yards. You like the over or the under? 78.5 is where they're putting the line.
I don't like the 2-0 linemen out. Most teams
Yeah, I
are
feel like it's gonna be-
right-handed, run right-handed. I'm going to say under.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as
I'm
well.
going to say under.
Well, I'm curious to see because it was obvious last week that the Lions said, nope, we're not letting Josh Jacobs beat us.
Do you
and they
think that
stacked the
they'll try to
box.
do the same thing tonight?
I'm curious to see if that's what Washington
Like,
does.
I don't
early.
have a problem with Morgan. He's fine. He plug him in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he'll be fine.
It's Kennard on the
It's
right tackle.
Kennard, and like I said, most teams are right-handed when they run. So, yeah, under.
Washington even tougher, they're saying, than the than the Lions were last week. And you mentioned some of those defensive guys, the interior and the way that they have. But obviously, I think if I went into this game and I were the Commanders, I would do the same thing. I would say, let's force Jordan Love to beat us with those young receivers. Let's force them to get those guys involved early and often. We know what Josh Jacobs can do. If we try to take him out of the equation, I think if you're the Commanders, you think you have a better shot at winning the game.
I just still think the energy is going to carry over to this week with the fans, with the players. Micah Parsons coming out party last week. I think he's like, wow, I didn't think Lambeau would be like this. This is kind of cool, and he's going to come out and play. Like I said, he'll get one sack, but they're going to pay attention to him. It's the other guys, I think, that are going to make the difference. The rest of the defense.
And kind of cool, your boy Sterling's getting honored tonight.
Ah, good for him.
Halftime, I'm assuming his name will be up on the facade like all the other Hall of Famers.
Because I can say this, Sterling was the best receiver I've ever played with. You couldn't bump him at the line. He had the ability to get by you. He was a hell of a player. It's too bad his career was cut too short.
I know everybody loves Don Hudson and all the things.
Yeah.
Like, I never saw Don Hudson play. The era is like impossible to evaluate.
Yeah.
Sterling Sharp's the best receiver I've ever seen play for the Packers.
He was, because it was like he was the only receiver on the field.
Well, but you talk about, we talked about with Micah Parsons, like, you have a plan. Teams had plans for Sterling.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter.
And Brett still went, my first read Sterling? Okay, run.
Second read Sterling?
Yeah.
Okay, now run.
You can hear the hustle and the bustle behind us here at the, what do we call these again? The bleachers?
Social bleachers.
Social bleachers, as we have an event coming up here. If the Packers play the same game tonight against the Commanders as they did against the Lions last Sunday, will the Packers win? That's on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll. 93% of respondents say they will get the victory if they play the same game offensively and defensively as they played last week against the Lions. It is a big day here in Wisconsin as the Packers are hosting the Commanders, and Wilde and Tausch will be all over it. That's next.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.